there, everyone. I am currently both recording and streaming this because I came across an interesting idea and I decided to call this Motivation and Chatter. So I'm actually filming my Insomnia Diary live right now. Those of you who follow my YouTube, or rather have subscribed to my YouTube, would know that I've been doing an Insomnia Diary over these past few days. And what I wanted to do was sort of build upon that idea, and I sort of had this thought in my mind last night because being 100% honest, mentally speaking, a lot of my demons have been eating me up. um, Last night I wasn't able to really get to sleep. I'm just letting the words clear for a minute because I don't want it to cover my face, but I wasn't able to get it to sleep until about 6 a.m. So I'm a bit sleep deprived, but that's because I was thinking about so many different things last night. Like, how can I be better as a streamer, as a person? How can I improve? You know, no problem, Schism. Even if you can't stay, it's all right because, in fact, you have been one of the people who has given me the idea to begin exactly what I'm beginning today, which again is called Motivation and Chatter. In fact, all of my streams, because so many people do come to me for motivation, but I felt like, how can I motivate others or tell them to change their lives if I'm not willing to step up and change mine? If I cannot change my own mindset, if I cannot change myself today, starting today, if I can't change that, then I can't change anybody else. And I can't help anybody else change if I'm not willing to change. So this is what was going through my mind after I turned off stream last night. Like, it was really in my brain, and it was draining in a sense because I was like trying my hardest to fall asleep, but I couldn't till about 6 a.m. specifically because I was thinking about all these things. Like, and I never want to be hypocritical in the sense that, I tell somebody, hey, you go try this, or you go and do this, and I don't do it myself. So starting with me, starting with my weaknesses, my problems, I wanted to start that. I wanted to start this series, this thing that I'm thinking about doing, which is Motivation and Chatter. I want to not only continue with my Insomnia Diaries, but I plan to film them live. I plan to also do my podcasts and talk shows live in the morning if I can, because I think it is so important at times to just let people know that there is, that I'm here, that we're doing something, and that, I'm going through the same things that they're going through. Because it's tough. It is tough. Sometimes you're alone in your head, and it is a very difficult pathway. Hope is the key thing that drives a lot of people, but how can you have hope when you don't feel it? So Schism says, in chat, like I said, I'm streaming this while also recording for YouTube. He says, you get exhausted by trying to go to sleep. I got you. I stopped doing that, and now if I'm all insomniac, I just let it do its thing until you're ready to sleep. The quality of my sleep, even if it's less overall, has improved dramatically. And I get that totally. I read some manga until my brain was ready to shut down last night. And we really are definitely going through the same things, and I think that's partially why I felt so strongly that today, this morning on Chinese New Year, almost like fate, almost like, it had to happen. This morning on Chinese New Year, I knew I had to start this. I knew I had to do this different thing today. The signs have all been there, and I decided today, okay, I'm gonna kick off this whole new motivational series with this thing that I'm doing right now. Because I feel that there's others out there who who may not have yet come to the stage that we have, because it's very difficult tackling this. And like, it was worse when I was having to work and stream, because sometimes you just don't understand why your brain will not let you rest. And it can build up your frustration, depression, things like that. And it hits you hard, For me, it had been hitting hard for such a long time. Now, I guess I'm stronger and wiser and smart enough to understand that I have to counter that I have to go a step further, a step beyond, and stop myself from being in that constant state. Yeah, in fact, yawning right now. But although my sleep quality has improved, like, there's no real replacement for the hours, because your body still needs it. Your body still needs that energy. So again, I guess I'm just trying to, in doing this diary, not only alter my mentality and my energy in going forward, but also to alter the way that I tackle these issues, like thinking about them constantly in a more positive manner, in a more understanding manner, in a way that I feel perhaps would help me go through this in a more meaningful way, So that has been very important to me. And, like I said at the start, actually, Schism was one of the few people that actually sort of triggered this whole thing for me, because, they're one of the people that has always come toward me for that motivation, to come to talk to me about that motivation. So I was like, why don't I do something like that, and there'll be a podcast coming. I'm going to record the podcast after I finish recording and putting up the Insomnia Diary, as I normally do every morning. I'm actually going to record the podcast live, and I'm going to be starting this motivational podcast, getting my podcast license today for sure, in the afternoon. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a very different experience, and it's really going to not only help myself, but help others as well. So, fingers crossed for that. And if people stop in to chat, I hope that I can get a chance to talk to them. Schism says, I feel like I'm going through a very difficult time for my mental health at the moment. Why, I don't know, but I'm aware of it really affecting me over the last few weeks. You've helped me just trying to get myself in a different point of perspective for myself, which has helped me. And hey, I'm glad I've helped you, but I want you to know that you're not alone in feeling that. Like, even for me, despite the amount of positivity I try to put out on social media or on stream, I think it has reached a breaking point for me mentally as well. And it has been severely affecting me, whether I want to admit it or not, over these past few weeks. Going full time was a decision I always wanted, but I guess until you're in it, I have never really felt a morning Shaky Jake. Like I said, I'm filming this live while also streaming it, but I guess I haven't really felt a full understanding of how much it has been affecting me, and coming to terms with that last night is why I'm starting this series. In fact, Shaky Jake, how are you today? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well today, and please feel free to talk to me if you feel like you want to say anything. If you don't want to, that's also okay. But yeah, welcome to my new thing, which is motivation and chatter. I guess to finish off this Insomnia Diary, again on a higher positive note, I just want to say that it has really been all these little things, these little factors, like the depression and the anxiety that's been eating me up on the inside, that's finally brought me to the point where I say, not only, okay, it's time for change, but how can I make that change more meaningful by bringing out something new that will help both me and other people, So I'm going to end my Insomnia Diary here, but of course the stream will keep going because we're going to be recording a motivational podcast next. So for those that want to tune into the Insomnia Diary on YouTube, feel free to do so. And just know that this is here to stay. Motivation and gaming will be the counterpart to this in the evening. And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. So I think it's gonna be a really, really good thing going forward. And also, just to take one last comment, Schism says, yeah, when you do go full time, it weighs heavy on you. It's not quite like a job, it's more than that. A job, you go home from streaming, but you never really leave it. And striking a balance is hard to do. You're absolutely right about that. And it's not just the work life balance, but also it's hard not to think of it in terms of income. And at times, it's so hard to not just think of your audience as a number, which is something you cannot do. And when I've caught myself thinking of people in that way, that's when I said, again, it's all why it has come to a head. It's all part of why it has caused me to make this drastic change. Because when I caught myself in those moments, I said, no, this is not right. I refuse this. And the only way to cast it out of myself, to completely refuse this, to completely refute it, and to change myself, is to put all of this into words, is to verbalize it, is to make a series of it, is to talk about it. And I can't get people to talk about their problems to me, and I can't get people to be motivated if I'm not willing to talk about my problems to people, if I'm not willing to be 100% honest about what's bugging me, what's eating me up, and what's driving me. So I guess I felt so strongly about that, I had to think through it all of last night. It had to go through my brain. And the product now is this. And I feel maybe it's the change I need to make. So for those that are interested in the Insomnia Diary, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For those that are here for the stream, it's carrying on. We're going to start the motivational podcast real soon. Insomnia Diary people, don't forget. I'll see you soon. Okay?